So I would say on the outside, just looking at this, I would say is a good thing. Good news. Hey, the day is saved. Microsoft wins the day. All that kind of stuff. Um, on the kind of devil's advocate side, I would say, well, why would we believe this if things are kind of going a certain way? And obviously Microsoft has not always been as upfront as many of us would like them to be. So we have both kind of aspects of looking at this. Yeah, I think it's good to be optimistic in a lot of cases, but I also think use common sense where applicable, and that's maybe where this kind of thing is going to come into play a little bit. But I want to get into it anyway because I feel like this is a good subject to talk about. What's up? I'm Crab Gamer. This is Crab Gamer Reviews with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. I would definitely appreciate it if you guys just like the videos. I do daily gaming content, stuff every day, fun yet informative. That's my tagline. So if you guys are definitely interested in that kind of stuff, I definitely would appreciate it. With that, like I said, with that being said, I want to get into this because I feel like this is an interesting topic and one that's a big reason why I do what I do. Right? A lot of people ask me like, why are you so, social on social media about Xbox and Xbox. You're very critical of Xbox on social media. And I've said this a million times. If you watch any of my videos, no matter how good the title might sound for Xbox, I always make sure to mention I don't think there's a path forward for Xbox without exclusive games, right? I don't think you could do it. Now, with that being said, a lot of people worry, myself included, what would happen to the digital libraries because it doesn't seem like Microsoft really cares about the hardware anymore. So knowing that they don't really care about the hardware, would it be that big of a stretch to say they would stop the hardware? And then if they stop the hardware, of course, they're not going to keep the servers going that keeps Xbox going, right? I'm not talking about Call of Duty servers or something like that. I'm talking about the Xbox servers. If you didn't know, your Xbox has to connect and ping off of a server. Like, even to get an achievement, you have to get connected to their servers. And if they were to cut off the servers, you wouldn't be able to connect. Like, let's just say I have a lot of digital games, right? Over 1,500 digital games installed, hundreds of physical games. Now, the problem with the Xbox Series X physical games, for the most part, is that these games don't have any data on them. And so if they don't have data on them, they can't just play in an Xbox that's offline, right? Even if you think you've downloaded everything, you still won't be able to play it. You'll get a message saying, do you own this game? Right? And that's the big problem, is if you have some kind of significant library from Xbox, and they decide to stop things or shut things down, what's going to happen? But now Phil Spencer has reassured fans, allegedly, that their digital libraries are safe. Xbox boss Phil Spencer reassures fans that their libraries are safe, that he, quote, respects people who voice their concerns about Xbox's future. Again, you guys can take this for what it's worth. Is this really something that, honestly, people, kind of talk about? Is it worthwhile something talking about? It's going to be interesting to see how this kind of works out. But for me, I just find it to be a very good talking point because I have so many games on the platform, and I would hate to lose access to them. So obviously, as Microsoft pivots to a multi-platform approach to focus on Game Pass and cloud gaming, Phil Spencer is trying to reassure fans that their digital libraries are safe. We've seen some recent changes in months and Xbox exclusive games announced for PlayStation and Nintendo, but Phil Spencer says it's all about letting players play their games the way they want to. In a recent interview on Xbox Era, the CEO of Microsoft Gaming, Phil Spencer, touched on the company's new direction at Xbox, which includes launching many of its first-party games on PlayStation and Nintendo platforms as well, strengthening its cloud gaming platform, and new features like streaming your own games. Many players have voiced their worries about this unprecedented future, and Spencer says he respects them for voicing the concerns, but reassures fans that their digital libraries are safe. He says, and I quote, "I want to show respect to the people who voice their concerns. To me, I get it, and I would never disrespect anybody who comes to me concerned. I've got a library of games on Xbox consoles. I want to make sure I'll continue to be able to play those. Are we going to still do hardware? Are we still going to play the games the way we've always played? Am I still going to have to rent my games? Can I still buy my games? All that. I get it. I get the questions. I think we've shown respect for people's libraries over the way that they've kind of handled this stuff. And we'll see if, that continues to be the way. I personally think it's up to each of us to kind of decide if we're going to believe what they say or not. Whenever I bring up that it seems like they lie a lot of people go, well, things have changed. Like that's the answer that I get when I bring up, that he's the guy that said ZeniMax was about exclusive games, or that, it was just 4 games in general, things like that. So we'll see. But anyway, he says, I think we've shown respect to people's libraries over the generations with back compat and play anywhere, and I want to continue to do that. Now, here's the thing that I would say to that. They stopped the back compat program, and play anywhere, like out of my library, I think I might have 25, 30 games that are play anywhere. And not that I would want to play on PC anyway, but realistically, out of the 1,500 games, it's not a lot. And in fact, their Play Anywhere titles have gone down year over year. Last year's was their lowest amount that they've ever had. Anyway, but he says you can buy every game that's in Game Pass. We're not trying to funnel everybody into one business model. Play the games that you want, the way you want to play them. It's a good in theory type thing, but it does feel more and more like they're trying to get people to be funneled over to a certain way, and that's not game ownership. Xbox President Sarah T-Mobile Bond has confirmed that a new generation of Xbox consoles is on the way and will deliver the largest technical leap we've ever seen from the platform. By the way, Phil Spencer walked that quote back a little bit. He did an interview and he was kind of saying, that was like Sarah's quote or whatever. Spencer revealed that the Xbox handheld is still a few years away, so it sounds like we can maybe look forward to some type of Xbox hardware in the future, but there's still a concern as to whether players will feel the need to buy into the platform if there aren't any exclusive games to make it worthwhile for all of us. Many concerns have been raised about the first-party games heading to PlayStation. Forza Horizon 5, Age of Mythology Retold, Age of Empires 2 have just been announced for PS5, but Spencer says it's about finding more players, saying we obviously have to run a good business, so we'll have our pricing and everything that we do, and I want to make as many options as possible for the games that we have, so they find more and more players. It's why us embracing Windows and embracing cloud has allowed us to grow. One of our fastest growing regions right now is Asia, and it's not because we're selling more consoles in Asia, but through cloud and PC we're finding more users year over year than any other place. The fastest kind of platform is cloud. That's the thing growing the fastest year over year. Cloud gaming received a big upgrade last year, giving Game Pass Ultimate members the ability to stream a selection of their own games via the cloud. Microsoft is steadily adding additional games, blah blah blah. I couldn't care less about the cloud personally. I think it's all nonsense, and I think that I don't think that in the future people, especially here in the States, are going to want to pay $70 to $100 to only be able to have access to a game through the cloud, right? Like it doesn't really make much sense to me to do kind of things that way. I think in theory it does sound good that we're going to be able to keep our libraries, but how? Also, he mentions just the digital libraries. Like there's people out there, you sold millions of people a console with a disk drive, and are those people going to be able to continue to play their games? Your latest releases, Avowed doesn't even have a physical version of the game. You look at Ninja Gaiden 2, which apparently Microsoft helped publish, or maybe that was they put some kind of money towards, and at the end of the day, is that something that is going to be able to access physically? Like there's only a physical version for PlayStation, so I think that's something that people have to kind of look at and and see what happens. I think that's what's gonna be the future. Whatever Xbox decides to do, I think we're gonna be in a very strange situation. It's definitely a weird situation going forward, and again, I've stated it and I'll state it a million different ways and a million different times. how can you move forward with a new platform if you don't have any exclusives, if you don't have anything different from your platform to the others, right? And yeah, I don't see how that can happen. But I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on it. Let me know. I'll link this in the description. Rack 'em up. I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews. I'll catch you next time. Crap Gamer out.